Welcome, everybody. What's up, thought criminals? Welcome to the Boiler Room. We are very pleased that you're joining us here tonight in the Boiler Room. I'm your host. My call sign is Hesher. Thank you for joining us for this June 23rd, 2022 edition of Boiler Room. We're back to do what we do here, and that is to let you in on joining us in our journey towards learning to protect ourselves from predatory mass media cartels. All right? I'm sure we have a lineup of wacko stories, cultural chaos, nonsensical power politic crap, egregious oversteps of fundamental rights, and much clown world navigation to do tonight. So we're very pleased that you're joining us for it. The pandemic industrial complex is a trap. It's a trap. The slow motion collapse of the economy is a flaming bag of dog turd left on your door by global government and the Fortune 100. The war in Ukraine is a burnt out husk filled with overdone propaganda, death, and theft. The behavior of Big Pharma is an electrified cattle prod dipped in toxic sludge right in the eyeball of humanity. The thing they tell us is that this is a democracy, right? Whoa, we got to protect democracy. It's always about protecting democracy. Considering what I just laid out there, I know it's a lot of flowery bumper stickers, but this form of governance feels more like a demonocracy to me. They poisoned our bodies, minds, and souls with their culture creation, their culture cancellation, their usurpation of all that was good and inspiring. The mass media and the algorithms of the cybernetic feedback loops masquerading as social media are a hydra, a many-headed beast that now breathes down our necks, corrupting our loved ones, our society, our co-workers, you name it. Now, we need to get away from this. Now, this may be easier said than done, but all we have to do is recognize it, properly assess it, and stop letting it dictate to us manufactured dialectics. Turn away from it. But like any monster that has metaphorical teeth that can reach into the hearts and souls of humanity, we have to also keep an eye on that beast. That's what we're here to do. It's a mammoth task, but the more of you that join us, the easier it becomes. So let's introduce the gang for tonight here in the Boiler Room. Joining me up first, I have the man behind the Oddcast. His call sign is Odd Man Out. Odd Man Out, welcome to the Boiler Room. How the heck you doing tonight?
Doing good, man. Just here in FEMA Region 4 in my underground bunker as usual. You know, just listening for the black helicopters and hoping that they're not coming. And looking forward to tearing apart some news with you guys.
Man, there are not enough black helicopters in the United States to come and get all the Heschers and all the odd men out and all those out there causing a ruckus and the choppers out there, you know. There just aren't enough black helicopters. I'm sorry. There's too many people that are turning away from the bogus, and they're finding people like us right now. So big shout out to all our new listeners out there. Thank you for joining us. We are live on Rockfin. We're live on YouTube, Spreaker, and alternatecurrentradio.com tonight for the first part of this episode of Boiler Room. That was Odd Man Out. He'll be with us tonight. And up next, we have the man behind the Daily Ruckus. His call sign is Ruckus. Ruckus, what's going on? I feel like this is like a Groundhog Day or something, man. Didn't we just do a show or something?
Yeah, you and I are all over the place lately. So yeah, that was a blast hanging out with you while you took the reins for Patrick Henningsen on his show on TNT Radio. That was pretty cool. And then you got a nice conversation out of Mark Anderson, the Truth Hound, there too. So, but yeah, man, I'm feeling like this has been one long surreal day because I didn't take any breaks or rest or anything. So I'm going just on my coffee, folks. Thank God I got my Daily Ruckus mug. And hey, if you like one of those too, you know where to find that. Just check out the website. But hey, everybody, I'm done shilling. Thanks for having me. Let's do this.
Yeah. All right. Let's do this. Hey, Foulmouth Veteran, what's going on, man? Welcome to the episode. Great to see you out there in the chat. Thanks for joining us, man. Okay, let's see here. Up next on the Boiler Room tonight, let me introduce the resident basher, smasher, shaper, and maker of all things badass. His call sign is Chopper. Chopper, welcome to the show. How you doing, man?
I'm good, dude. Thanks for having me again. It's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being here, doing security, bouncer, and Mad Max vehicular modifications for the Boiler Room.
Yeah, no problem, dude. We gotta have something to fill the time with.
That's right. That's right. We're just waiting for the alien invasion, right? We got a big fake alien invasion coming up. I have this problem lately. I'm making predictions. I know better, but I'm guessing 2024 for Biden's next pandemic, or Fauci's next pandemic, or Gates's next pandemic. Whatever. Johns Hopkins, WEF, WHO, CDC, ghoul. The ghoul councils. I'm guessing just in time for mail-in ballots. Okay, so next lockdown coming to you, 2024. And don't forget, everybody, that the UN Green Agenda 20, we're on to 2030 now. All right, Agenda 21 is now last year, and look what we got last year and the year before. So we thought they weren't going to make all of their stupid, lofty, terrible, inhuman goals for Agenda 21, and lo and behold, they were able to come up with some sort of simulacrum of Agenda 21. And I think for Agenda 2030's manifestation, we're going to have the alien invasion. It's just going to have to happen, Chopper. So, we're going to need those Mad Max vehicles ready to roll.
Yeah, we'll have them ready. And the thing is, I wouldn't even be surprised if there was the alien invasion. I'd be like, okay, whatever, dude.
Right?
Lame.
Right? Can I see them out my window, or is it only going to be served up by the mass media cartel? Because if I could see them out my window, maybe you got a chance of convincing me. But as I've said on this show before, I'm even if little dude man thing gray guy shows up, I'm still going to have a hard time believing it's not some government psychological operation of some sort.
They could bust out the projectors on us. Like it could just be like, like the whales at the fish show, right?
Yep. We've seen
aliens.
it.
It's at concerts now, so whatever. Also, I apologize for not doing my homework because I don't know my FEMA region.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right.
I don't care though.
You're in an undisclosed FEMA region bunker, man. You don't need to give your drone coordinates out. Odd Man Out is brave. He's got SAM missiles. He intercepted some of Zelensky's shipments, so he's all set. He's stockpiled.
Right on.
All right, that's Chopper, everybody, and that leads us to the one and only Boiler Room's resident scientist, Infidel Pharaoh. Infidel, welcome to Boiler Room. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good, sir. Aliens are already among us. You didn't hear about the hybrids? So,
right. Are they like bee? Are they like the lizard type, or are they like the gray type? What kind are the hybrids? What are we looking at here?
They're actually, the hybrid, like human-shaped, half alien species.
Oh, I feel like I see those every time I go to the grocery store, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I know what you're saying.
A lot of NPCs are I think hybrids. Whatever hybrids they are, but they are some sort of hybrid. What is actually, and don't you think, like with all the UFO hypes, there is something there, like all mainstream media and Pentagon, and
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, you always know when there is a push from these guys to all this information that hey, there's something behind it. Usually, what it is, I don't know.
I don't either, man. They're pumping it at us hard over the last 3 years,
Oh yeah,
which is weird because it's like 99.9% of everything been pumping at us is, division, violence, dialectics, power politics. But then, we'll just sprinkle in some Bob Laser. We'll sprinkle in some uh, Skinwalker Ranch. We'll popularize all this stuff and we'll get some DoD releases. We'll get some Navy intel releases. We'll get some flight videos, some grainy flight videos that are almost as good as the Patterson film of Bigfoot, right?
yeah. So here is something for you, not to take too much from the intro, but what if all the food processing facility destructions that's happening lately all around? What if it's part of the alien plan to destroy our food supply and get us like starved to
Maybe.
prep us for a war?
Yeah, right. Maybe they brought a pox upon us. Hey, a monkey pox, cow pox. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that's an interesting game theory there, Infidel Pharaoh. You never know.
Yeah.
The bar is so low for what the population will accept, and the bar is so high for what the ghoul councils of the world are going to try to do. So who knows? They meet in the middle, and to us, it's just like, wow, that really
Yep.
just happened. Yeah. All right. Well, okay. There you go, everybody. This is your boiler room tonight. You got Hesher, Oddman Out, Ruckus, Infidel Pharaoh, and Chopper, and we are here in Spore's absence to break the ice. So let's see. What do we got tonight? What do we got? All right. I'm gonna start right here. Instead of reading you an article or something, I'm gonna go ahead and blast you guys a video. Let me make sure the site's not muted and it's in full screen. All right, ready for cringe in 3, 2, 1.
Can we please stop saying pregnant women? So I'm a third year medical student, and all throughout medical school, I've had a ton of lectures associate pregnancy only with women and people who use she, her pronouns. And I'm just here to keep it short and sweet to say not all pregnant patients identify as women or with she, her pronouns. Thank you. Can we please stop saying pregnant?
Oh my God, can you please stop talking, woman? Okay, so what is this? What is this? Is this all about a virtue signal for being pronoun police, word police, PC police, snitch culture? Otherwise, snitch culture, right? Because that's what this comes down to. You got this green, wet behind the ears med student here, 3-year med student, and she has arrived at med school and she's upset. She's upset because the pronouns aren't right, I suppose. So great. It has seeped into our medical system now. This virus of pronoun obsession has seeped into our medical system. And you know what? These are our future doctors right here. So I don't know. Odd man out. What do you what do you make of this one?
Well, it's terrifying, really, because the last place you want to have woke people and the last field you want to be politicized is the medical field, and it has been. And it's, I don't even go to the doctor ever anymore. I just, I just cringe at the thought, even. And it reminds me, dude, I saw this video of Camille Paglia the other day, and she was explaining how all these civilizations, towards the end, before they collapse, they kind of lean towards androgyny, and they kind of lose their kind of they kind of like move towards this weird sexual warp, where people don't really know exactly what they are. And the fancier people, the more upper crust people, kind of start to look at sex as, well, it's kind of backwoods to kind of think of men and women as just that, in the traditional sense. And so they start to try to do all these other things and experiment. And she named off a bunch of different societies. And I think that's where we're headed, man. They've injected total confusion into every aspect of our lives. And I can't imagine having to depend on somebody like that in the medical field when you have something really wrong with you.
Right? That's scary. That I would not be pleased with that one. I'm sorry. Nope. I'll pick another office. That medical practitioner is fired before she even got started. On me at least. So I don't know. Maybe this is an extreme case. Of course, that's out of one of those dreaded mass media cartel rags, and they love these things. These things are like paid PR pieces half the time. I guarantee you that's a TikTok influencer, right? Someone who's probably on who knows? Is that the Rockefeller Foundation's goal to make these TikToks ruckus, or is that just straight from the heart and mind of the corrupt pronoun obsessed Caligula's barge graduate?
I missed her exact statement, what she said specifically, but I think I get the gist of it. It's just, I don't know. I would have to see it in real life to believe it. I need a real life person to get in my face and complain about this before I believe this is a real gripe in the public sphere, because I believe so much of this is manufactured through these influencers, through social media, through the mass media cartel. So, just like during the shutdowns and the lockdowns, they tell us how many people are for wearing masks and how many are against. And I think sometimes they were just lying about the numbers. They want to really strongly control public perception, and control people's thoughts and emotions. It's a form of brainwashing and control, But I don't know. I don't believe for a second that this is a genuine woman who honestly is upset about this because, whatever. It's just
Yeah.
silly.
Yeah. All
Distraction.
right. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. It is definitely a dangerous trend, though, when it goes into the medical system. I mean, Chopper, I think that this like, let's say that became, the wokeness, the pronoun obsessed folks become the doctors and nurses, and that actually becomes normalized in a hospital. Can you imagine the chaos in the emergency room when like a nurse comes, running down to the station to get the doctor or whatever, and it's like, we need you. They them are having a cardiac arrest. They them are experiencing myocarditis. You know what I mean? It's like, who, what, which ones? I don't know.
Dude, it's ridiculous. I'm so glad that lady's video is short, because I was right when you turned it off. It's like, yeah, it's about enough to listen to you. I was right there with you on that, dude.
Ooh, I know.
Yeah, this is our genius medical student. You're awesome. You're awesome.
Yeah, your parents must be so proud, right?
Not just women can get pregnant. Wah.
These textbooks are so racist and bigoted and old fashioned. They
I
don't.
heard it in all these lectures. It's a microaggression. I need to get therapy now and take some drugs.
We need ketamine stat.
It's like, what? Oh man.
Yeah. All right.
No, not a good look. Hopefully that's not the real direction it's going. But I mean, dude, if these people are getting churned out of university, they're gonna end up out there and be in various fields doing various things. So
yeah. Various things like annoying the professionals that have been doing the job for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years more than them, walking in like, oh, you didn't, they didn't teach you English at Harvard in 1973. You don't know they, them.
Well, dude, that's another thing. I'm with you at that too. Is like, if I went in there, like if my old lady was pregnant or whatever, and I went and seen a doctor, and they're worried about what her pronouns are, and if she's a woman or not, then I think I'd seek services elsewhere. Like, no, dude, this isn't gonna work out.
Right. I see a lot of patients voting with their feet all of a sudden and looking up functional doctors. It's like, well, you know what? I don't know if I like these Rockefeller doctors. I'm gonna look for one of these functional doctors.
What about the
Mhm.
police and emergency radio bands? I listen to the police scanners occasionally, and every time they're talking about an incident, they're describing the person's sex, approximate age, the color of their skin, what they're wearing, and you have to so that they can identify who and what they're looking for, and all of this crazy garbage argument over pronouns or whether or not you should mention that they happen to be of a particular skin color is a non thing. This is an emergency. We're trying to save lives or attend to a crime and look for a suspect, and yada yada yada. So this is getting dangerous now. The wokeism it's all fun and games until this happens.
Right. So infidel, I think what Ruckus is saying is it's all fun and games until your emergency services will take language police, thought police, PC policeism over emergencies, over safety, etc. I mean, let's face it, that ship has sailed long ago. Look what happened in Uvalde. Just what the hell? Maybe that's what happened in Uvalde, infidel. Maybe they were too busy trying to figure out the pronouns to use to open the door, right?
Yeah, yeah. Let's leave Uvalde later because I'm not sure if you're up to date on some of the new videos that surfaced. That shows actually the police didn't even try to enter. Uh,
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that,
yeah,
man. I know. Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
yeah. Let's
hit
leave
that
that to later.
in the
Let's leave
second
that.
part of the show,
Yeah, yeah,
probably. Folks on YouTube, the second part of the show will probably be a Rock fan exclusive after the intermission. So just so you know.
yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Cool.
Yeah, but
But
what do you
yeah,
think
yeah.
about wokeism in the medical industry, man? All these young people coming in to be doctors and lawyers now who don't know how to speak anymore.
Well, I mean, honestly, we had actually even before that we have a big problem in our medical system because it's a lot of it is not really. It's driven by fixing symptoms by just injecting you with pharmaceuticals. That's what the essence of the medical science. It's not actually trying. It's not sorry, medical modern medicine in our country is to uh, fixing symptoms by injecting you with pharmaceuticals that basically treat those symptoms without or decrease the symptoms without actually treating the cause of the symptoms or even trying to diagnose what is the cause of the symptoms. Um, so what we're seeing is a continuation of the degradation of our, it's really the whole medical industry here in this country. Um, I don't know how much I trust someone that's a doctor that can look at me and say, "Hey, ma'am, um, when my because if you can't understand biology and the difference between sexes and the difference in organs, reproductive organs, and other uh, biology and forms between male and female." I don't know how you can be classified as a doctor, really. Um, so it just it's just another profession that is getting woke, I guess, and everybody's just trying to ride the train. And uh, I'm wondering when are they going to stop asking in government IDs and actual paperwork if you're a male or a female, or they will ask you what is your pronoun, and instead of saying you're a male or a female.
Yeah.
How soon do you think this is going to happen?
I know. I keep seeing like different countries and states allowing people to put an X, there instead of an M or an F or whatever. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
think
It's
some states have done that with driver's licenses already.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
really?
happening. Yeah.
Shit.
I think it might be in Canada and who knows, probably a couple of our states, but definitely I saw that happening in Canada somewhere.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Wondering if that's going to confuse AI somehow.
Oh man, yeah, really. No kidding. Don't mess
But
with Skynet.
yeah, actually, another trend since we're talking about this, I notice a lot of big corporate right now is actually pushing for all employees. They have to identify their. Everyone has to ask the other employee what their pronouns should be. or you have to make clear to the other employees what your pronouns are. This way, they can call you with the right pronouns. Uh, so, are you he, she, or they, them, or it, X, or I don't know, but
Gray alien X57342.
yeah, this madness just getting started. Let's put it this way. Honestly, this is. I think we're gonna have that for a little bit. I think a lot of people are getting tired, but the push from corporate and America and big money and the agenda they are pushing they are pushing it pretty hard. The question is how far along will people get with it? But I see the push in everything right now.
Right? I mean, this you see this in prisons, you see it in athletics now. It's just seeping everywhere and causing all kinds of chaos. And it's like this wasn't hard to see coming, you know. We've been joking about these things for years, and it's becoming less and less jokey as the days go by because it's just, you know, the ultimate reality is becoming normalized. It's becoming normalized because we live on Caligula's barge, apparently.
It is, and really, I'm just gonna go back to the agenda they have on kids. You know, I don't mind like fucking with adults. You know, if you're a 30-year-old or a 40-year-old and you just wanna listen to whatever the hell they want to say, hey, you're a big man or you're a big woman. But like fucking up with a kid's psyche from early on and just messing them up as they grow up, this is evil. This is not okay. This is evil. And that shit they are doing with drag and I saw that disturbing ad for this show called like Generation Drag on Discovery Plus. This thing is disgusting. They have basically kids going around like wearing drag and showing like parents like showing up their kids and dressing up with their kids as drags. I'm like, how far along are we gonna get this? And this is mainstream media. This is like Discovery Plus. Like this is like Food Network, travel channels, all those like supposedly like family channels, And this is the kind of fucking shows that they put on and the kind of agenda they are trying to push on us. So it's disgusting, and that shit needs to stop. Stop fucking with our kids, please.
Please. We're asking nicely at this point. Could you please stop sexualizing children and bringing them into these weird things? It's just I don't know.
We know
Actually,
exactly where this is leading. I'll be the one to say it without saying it, but we've seen the TED Talks. We've heard the opinion pieces pushed out there by the mainstream narrative. They want to normalize literally the sexualization of children. They want to make it okay for pedo freaks to be okay with being that. They want that to be accepted as a sexuality, and I'm not. Whoa, no. There's a line that people draw sometimes, and I think that's it for a lot of folks out there, myself included. And maybe I'm speaking for everyone else in this room, but man, that's just going too far. And if you think they can't and they won't, think about how many things that are commonly accepted now, not that long ago, were not. And in some places around this world, it's still a crime to do, but it's commonly accepted and pushed upon here. Just saying. Just think about it.
yeah.
So, Ruckus, what did? Sorry,
Oh, no, I was just gonna say quickly. I think that's what we have there, Ruckus, is another case of they're gonna tell us this is normalized, and it's gonna embolden all kinds of predators. It's gonna enable young people to have all these trauma-based mind control experiences. I mean, it literally leads to people being mutilated. You know what I mean? They're in some states, they'll a plastic surgeon will mutilate up a 14-year-old. Cut off they's genitals and festoon some sort of odd pocket where genitals used to be, or vice versa. It's abuse. It's really creepy. And they don't interview the young adults who look back on having done this 5, 10 years ago. They never talk to those people. You have to go to specialized channels to see someone interview a young adult who's saying, yeah, I got roped into that. All the adults in my life supported me turning into they or whatever. And I hate my life now. I'm forever mangled. I feel like, I'm not anything. There's some really tragic stories out there in that regard. And, they never show us those. So what they're going to do is they're going to keep telling us this is normal. They're going to keep putting federal money into local libraries to fund these things. People are going to keep taking little kids to various shady places where adult sex stuff is promoted. Who cares? Like, I'm with Ruckus. I don't give a fuck, in general when it's adults. But when you're getting into the minds of little kids, it's not good. It is definitely not good. And I have a clip on that, but let's hold off on that clip for a second there because I just want to round out this topic here with the that was from the libs of TikTok. And libs of TikTok, of course, they don't do commentary like we do. They don't put themselves out there and do mean speak like we do. All that. They just repost crazy things like that they come across, and they've come under fire for it, which I find absolutely hilarious. It's like they aren't making that content, they're just reposting some of the insane stuff that some of these people say. But just an odd man. I'm going to want your comment on this because you come from a family that has, that's in the medical system in a sense. And I would just like to think, hey, my message to seasoned medical professionals, if you're going to allow someone like this to come into learned doctorhood under your watch, you're not good at what you do, or you're spineless and brainwashed. And to the medical students, if this is what you're worried about, rather than the fact that the medical industrial complex has been completely hijacked by a globalist cabal, they want to give even more power to the World Health Organization and to their multinational ghoul council of super friends and super scientists, the Faucis, the Gates, the Tedroses, the Bojos, the Trudeaus, the Bidens of the world. They will be nothing compared to the generation of ghouls that follow them once these policies are all in place, and that is our medical environment. Because at that point we truly have manifest into sheeple, cattle of some sort. So yeah, odd man, am I being too harsh? I mean, I'm always open to criticism here when I'm being too harsh, but I mean, what are the medical professionals, are they going to put up with this kind of stuff? Are they going to give residency to people that refuse to notify on the chart whether someone is a male or female? I mean, if they can't get that right, if they've got 32 different, if they can be a unicorn, an attack helicopter, or whatever, it's going to be pretty easy to screw up a chart. And once a chart is screwed up, you're looking at medical liability, et cetera, et cetera. What do you think of that?
Well, the few people that I know and have talked to, they think that this crazy woke generation is crazy like all we do, like all of us. But it's almost like their hands are tied because everyone is so paranoid about getting sued, in these hospitals, especially, and they'll just do whatever. It's kind of like a lot of, I think, these big businesses too, they've kind of like taken the attitude of, well, we just got to put up with it or even celebrate it because our other option is fighting it. And that's going to cost us all kinds of money and litigation and stuff. But yeah, the doctors and the nurses and stuff that I've talked to, they do not like it. And a lot of them, I think, lean more towards right of center. But they're just, their hands are tied. They're afraid to talk anything about politics anymore. And it's a shame because I think the whole world is getting like that. Besides people like us, it's like a lot of people are afraid that they'll offend someone and get in trouble at work, I think. And so it seems like a lot of people don't talk about politics or social issues anymore in the public sphere.
Yeah, dude. And Ruckus mentioned something earlier, and it made me think. Uh, I believe it was you, Ruckus, that was saying, talking about in the workplace, right? Like, and it's that way on LinkedIn now too. Like, oh my God, if if anyone out there has seen like any of the contemporary LinkedIn.com commercials, it's amazing. Like, I remember, last when I first got on LinkedIn years ago, back in career days, it was like, okay, this is a very professional social media platform. In fact, for me, as a bit of a Facebook goon, I didn't even want to interact with LinkedIn. I was completely like, oh, this is way too professional for me. I already have a job. I don't want anything to do with it. But and everybody's trying to, they're dressing for the job they want. They use the vernacular and the jargon for the job they want. Good headshots, that kind of stuff. Not a lot of political stuff posted in the timelines. And man, you look at a commercial for it now, it is so woke. The commercials are so freaking woke for LinkedIn. You wouldn't believe it. It's staggering. And then you go look at the actual feed on there, and you've got people that are employed by serious companies, and they're posting highly politicized articles, and they're putting all their politic out there and stuff, and they've got their pronouns listed at the top and everything. It's just like it's a completely different thing. And you think to yourself, okay, well, this is just another cybernetic feedback loop being, pumped at us and corrupting us a little bit further and, providing that confirmation bias that we need that, oh, this is the way things are now. Um, but then you get into the workplace, and I hear from listeners and friends all the time now that, I can't tell you how many times I've had a conversation with a listener or a friend where they tell me, man, I went into my annual training or, my whatever training, all this stuff. Man, if we got a wrench in the YouTube, let's axe this. We got a troll in the YouTube. I'm gonna go over here. Yeah, Adam, maybe you can get rid of these spammers in our chat here. It looks like we're going to be playing whack-a-mole tonight a little bit. But I get these calls and it's like, yeah, I went to my annual training, whatever, sexual harassment training or workplace culture training. I don't know what the hell they call these stupid things these days. And they get browbeaten. They get completely browbeaten. You know what I mean? They get exposed to this kind of stuff. And I used to have federal jobs, so I had to take a lot of the same training modules that people in the military take. I worked at a in the university setting, but it was there. Even then, it was just like, okay, this is a lot of stuff. We're all adults here. This feels a little bit childish to have to go through this, but I understand they got to put a check in the box. But how many boxes are we trying to check now? And it used to be, you could still be yourself, but now that process of, these training things, and a lot of them go over Zoom since 2020 probably, but uh I'm hearing anecdotes from people who are like, I had to shut my mouth in there. You know what I mean? Like, if I would have told them I'm not down with, pronoun obsession, or God forbid, I'm a Republican and, or a Christian, and I don't like, the the stuff that you're trying to tell me I need to agree with. Like, you don't really have that option. Like, people tell me they basically feel like they're going to get removed from their job. They're going to lose their ability to make money if they don't play along with this at the workplace, sensitivity training or whatever. And to me, that's frightening, because that's like your employer extorting you into having an identity politic, the correct identity politic. And knowing what the Fortune 100 is all about, we know which direction that leans in. So I don't know. The whole corporate factor is really like, what are you guys doing here? What are I thought we were about corporate boards and making money and doing business, but no, it's apparently cultural manipulation seems to uh, be higher in priority than some of these things in some cases. I don't know. I don't know. It's so stupid. It's unbelievable.
Hey, Hesh, let me break in real quick. Did you guys see that video going around that was from an official naval? It was like their department or whatever that like gives them instructions on how to be woke. I forget what they call it, but anyway, it was pretty wild. It was crazy to see something like that has some, that is linked to our armed forces, and that naval men have to sit through that and watch it.
It's embarrassing, man. And that is so embarrassing. I'm trying to bring it up. I did catch that. I'm trying to bring it up without someone's commentary here. No, I don't want the Rubin report. Let's give it I'm gonna just click a random one here and see if maybe we can't show the audience what we're talking about. Let's see if this is it in its raw format.
Johnny, and I use he, him pronouns.
Hi, and I'm Kanchi, and I use she, her pronouns.
And we're here to talk about pronouns.
What is a pronoun? A pronoun is how we identify ourselves apart from our name, and it's also how people refer to us in conversations.
Using the right pronouns is a really simple way to affirm someone's identity. It is a signal of acceptance and respect.
If it's a signal of acceptance and respect, how do we go about creating a safe space for everybody?
That's a good question. A really good way to do that is to use inclusive language. Instead of saying something like, hey guys, you can say, hey everyone, or hey team.
Yeah, and now that you say that, another way that we could show that we're allies and that we accept everybody is to maybe include our pronouns in our emails, or like we just did, introduce ourselves using our pronouns.
Blah 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 blah. I can't even go any further with that. That's too long. 3 minutes and 46 seconds. Here's how the Navy is training sailors on proper gender pronouns. Come on, my military friends. What the fuck is this? Honestly, is this really the most important thing? I see the NAVSEA logo back there too. NAVSEA, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Our sailor friends have enough time getting the respect that they are due from the other members of the armed forces. So this is not helping matters, is it, Odd Man?
No, it's not at all. I mean, and it makes me wonder if there's similar things in the other branches too, and we just haven't seen them yet.
Oh, that's frightening. I'm going to throw the towel in when they show the Marine Corps one someday here in Fidel Faro. I'm quit. Game over. Like aliens, That's it. Game over, man.
It's just, I just can't help myself as someone that is, a patriot to this nation, that see this, what is happening, especially with the military, and don't think that this or whoever is doing this is intentional to destroy the military of this nation. And it is actually some kind of like foreign plot with some traitors that's actually are pushing for it. This is conspiracy, yes. But if I'm looking at this, how is that? If we get in a war with China or Russia, how the fuck are we gonna face these guys with this military, with this woke military? What the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
We're depleting our military from weapons, sending it to Ukraine. We're depleting it from men that are able to fight, actually. And so why do we have it? What's the purpose of that military? Is it to suppress the actual citizens? Is that what we're using the military as a police force, not as actually force to defend the nation? I just don't know where this is going, other than just the utter destruction of every institute of this country, including the military, which you have to be fucking tough as nail to be in the military, not to sit there talking about fucking feelings and my pronouns and your pronouns when you're holding a gun and you're facing someone. So I just don't understand really where this is going. I was just listening to a report today about just ammunition capacity in the US military compared to Russian military. And if actually it's a pretty disturbing number. If US was actually fighting in Ukraine and they are firing the same amount of shells that Russia is firing, actually will run out of shells in 3 weeks because our military supply chain is shit, and we cannot produce.
Like our food supply chain.
Is that like our food supply? Like what are we becoming? Seriously, like what the hell? And we're calling ourselves like the leaders of the world. We're not the leaders of the world anymore. We used to be, but we're not anymore. We're not the leader in freedom and liberty anymore. We're not leaders in military. You know, so I don't know where we're going, and I don't know where this is going to end, and when they will stop. After when will they stop? Like, enough is enough.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the Navy's just going to drop off the Marines in any conflict anyways, so they can eat all the rainbow-colored Twinkies they want and sit on the ship. I'm just kidding if you're a naval aviator. I know there's some I'm not sorry, SEALs. I'm just kidding. Sort of. But let's see here. Yeah, in that regard, Infidel, check this out. Look at this crap. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is pretty cool in a way, but the Army recently awarded a contract to Sig Sauer for 2 new soldier weapons, right? We've got the XM5 rifle and the XM250 squad automatic rifle for soldiers in close quarter combat. This XM5 is going to eventually replace the beloved M4 and M4A1 carbine rifles, and the XM250 is going to replace the M249 squad automatic weapon. I'll put it on screen here so you folks can see it if you haven't heard about this yet. And additionally, this is the part, though, that got me, Infidel, and you kind of made me think about this. Both new rifles will use a new 6.8 millimeter common cartridge family of ammunition. So we're already in trouble here when it comes to, you know, supply chains and whatnot, and we're gonna just dump this this platform that we've been using for all these years successfully, that has, you know, arguably reached its apex. It's you know, miles beyond what it was, the modern M4, miles beyond the old, you know, Colt M16s and whatnot. So yeah, let's just make a new custom cartridge. And oh, by the way, the rifle is longer and heavier, and the magazines only hold 20 rounds instead of 30. We're actually taking 10 rounds away from every volley of fire, you know, that these guys need to do. So how do you think that's going to work out, Infidel, when we've got an even more like brand new cartridge, you know, and we're going to eventually swap out all the old 5.56.
Yeah, who's making those decisions? I guess like someone that just want to make money, and they just want to create a new platform so that they can just make more money. But here is the difference between really like the Russian philosophy and the American philosophy, especially in weapons. So Russia, actually, their military weapons, they don't care about that fancy, you know, sometimes they don't care about that fancy technologies that we have in our weapons, but their weapons are actually well-proven weapons that through their history has worked. And it's easy, we're in the battlefield, it's easy to maintain. Also, all their components, they have control over it. We actually we import components from Russia and China for our military equipment, even to make like shells. It's just like, who is making these decisions? Who is sitting out there making these decisions? Whoever is making it, definitely not looking in the long run for the benefit of this country. I think that just, I don't know what it is, but it does not make any sense to me.
No, me either, man. I don't understand. It's I don't know. It's cool. I'll take one. They should just, you know, sell them to civilians. You know, let us test them out and quit messing with the military dudes' SOPs. I don't know how excited they are about it. I'm just speaking from my own assessment here. I'm not an operator, not an expert, but I do find it very interesting, especially with the supply chain being what it is. and knowing like how quickly ammunition just disappears. By the way, why is the IRS and I forget what other stupid, pointless government agency buying up like millions of rounds right now? Why, I don't understand that really.
Wait,
Agencies.
what? The IRS is buying rounds?
Yeah. I remember back in 2014 or 13 or so, it was a big story that the Social Security services were stockpiling ammunition, and now the IRS is stockpiling
I think
ammunition.
post offices
yeah,
too,
every
right?
federal agency pretty much has been piling it up for like at least a decade now.
Yeah,
If not more.
it's like every time they sign another ghoulish NDAA, these are the kind of things that are built into it. Oh, we're gonna get 1 million rounds to the IRS. They're gonna need it. Are the IRS police gonna come in and save the kids since Uvalde cops and the multi-agency response can't seem to figure that out? Maybe the IRS will come to the rescue, Ruckus. What do you think?
I'm only concerned with how many rounds the Smithsonian owns, to be honest with you.
Yes.
I'm just this whole time I'm in a daze. I can't believe that video that you showed that's not for kids. That is a Navy video for grown-ups, for adults, soldiers. We're FUCKED, folks. I'm sorry, this is insanity right here. Have you been noticing this slow growing trend of treating us all like we're a bunch of little kid idiots? Like, hey, wash your hands. Huh?
You gotta
Wear a
sing it.
mask.
You gotta sing it though. Wash your hands.
That's right. We gotta trust science. And here's your grammar lesson too. Here's what a pronoun is. It's like we're all going back to school or something. This is freaking crazy. But I still can't believe that was for grown-ups, let alone for soldiers in the Navy. I just want to go to bed and ignore everything now. Thanks, Hesher.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to black pill your way to sleep there for you, Ruckus. Yeah, the branding in the back of that video was NAVC. So NAVC is the Naval Sea Systems Command. It's the largest of the United States Navy's 5 systems commands or material organizations. So just to kind of underscore how official that video is right there.
Wait, didn't their motto used to be the best you can be?
I think that was the Army.
That was the Army. What's the Navy's motto? Someone's gonna have to remind us.
Go
quick.
Navy.
We're gonna have to come up with a new one for them, obviously.
Yeah, Chopper knows.
Yeah, it's Go Navy, dude.
Go Navy. Well, go rainbows, Navy. Go Navy rainbows.
The other thing about that video I noticed, besides it being for children, was like even the wording with the whole like to show that you're an ally, put your pronoun in your email. Like what? Like, can you imagine signing up and go in the military and this is what you get? Like you can't even get out.
No, I can't. I cannot imagine this. I hear we're being streamed live in the HEB right now. So HEB, what's up? All right, you're listening to the Boiler Room at alternatecurrentradio.com. Let's see here. So real quickly, back to the doctor over there, the young lady looking to be a learned doctor and educate everybody in the system about how important pronouns are in especially when it comes to what they would like you to call birthing people. You can kind of where does this all lead? Well, it leads to more mental illness. Check this one out. Here we go. I was loveless before I married a rag doll, and now we have a baby. Okay, so I'm going to spare everybody the reading of this article here. I'll play a little bit of footage for those of you watching it, so you can see what I'm about to describe to you. I'm going to kind of try to paraphrase what this article is saying. So we've got a woman here who could not find a dance partner when she would go to dance class and whatnot. There she is at dance class. Look at her go with her ragdoll husband. And she complained to her mom about it. Well, mommy, no one wants to dance with me. And what does mommy do? Mommy makes her a ragdoll dude man thing, which she claims to take dance class and be in love with and get married to. Um, but when you look through this thing, I flashed the video there. You guys probably saw it. But when you look through it, what it looks like is basically uh, a a TikTok influencer sort of feed or something like that, right? Like you can tell everything is extremely contrived and meant to drive clicks. Of course, that's why the New York Post, dreaded New York Post, here has picked it up. So yeah, is this what's going to happen? She says that she married her ragdoll boyfriend there, and oh, yep, here's the picture. Check this out. Look what happened next. Look what happened, everybody. A ragdoll baby. Look at she has a ragdoll baby. Look at that little ragdoll baby with ragdoll man, and yeah, that's married life for this person. But is that where this leads? Is that where this pronoun stuff in the hospital leads? Are they gonna let a TikTok influencer come in and do his or her or they or them psychological operation on their audience and
I'm
bolster it to the point where it becomes a New York Post article? What do you guys think of that?
I'm just happy that my blow up doll never got pregnant.
Right? She just looks surprised, eternally surprised.
That looks like a blow up doll. What the
I was sitting there watching that. I was like, check this out. This lady just saved some poor guy and possibly their child like a lifetime of misery.
Right? Good for her.
Right? Like,
I think
gosh.
Chopper, I think more woke women should marry ragdoll guys right there. Or
that's
you know,
fine. Go ahead and make the
yeah,
dating pool easier to deal with. Thanks.
right?
Just take yourself out of the loop then.
Yeah. They used to say there's plenty of fish in the sea or things like that, and now it's like there's not that many fish left in the shallow pond. So those of you that have removed yourself from the shallow pond there by marrying ragdolls, go for it. That's fantastic. We support you.
I'm just going to search ragdoll match service right now. I'm gonna see what I find. I'll let you guys know.
All right, yeah, check back with us. Odd man, over to you.
I was just going to say that something tells me that marriage is hanging by a thread. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it is a thread on Raggedy Andy's head.
There's really not enough Viagra for that poor guy. So
No, I don't think so.
It's like she's maybe partially she's doing this probably for clickbait and everything like that, but it also strikes me as someone who didn't get the attention they wanted to get in high school, and I mean most people would have, any person with common sense and a person who would not want to be embarrassed would not do anything like that, and it's like there's so many people out there that want attention and they don't care what kind of attention, even if it's like the wrong kind of attention where people are looking at you like you're insane. And it's like, however many years ago, 10, 15 years ago, when, they announced that there was like, 3 dozen genders or whatever, like, and then they started trying to condition people that you have to accept all that. They opened the floodgates. And so now it's anything goes. And so we're almost to the point where, I think I said on a show a while back, it won't be long till they'll be trying to condition us that furries are, normal, right? And we have to accept that. And somebody can just show up to work at a nice office job in a furry outfit, and they're going to have to suck it up and let them do it. I guarantee we'll see that in our lifetimes.
Dude, it's just a matter of days, weeks, months until I get that phone call or email from a listener or a friend. They're like, they'll tell me that happened. They'll tell me that they laughed, and then they'll tell me that they lost their job. And that's sad. That's scary. What a frightening trajectory. What a frightening trajectory. Did you find anything, Infidel Pharaoh? Is there a ragdoll dating app that folks like they can
No,
use?
I didn't find anything. The only thing I found was just cat matching service. But
Man,
for the
even
ragdolls.
all right. Well, maybe this person can make one. Yeah, that's
No.
I will make one if there is a market for it. Just let me know.
do you think, Ruckus?
Well, I was looking up online. There's an update, a breaking news story happening right now. The details are just coming out, folks. So the story could change by the time you're hearing this, or by when you wake up tomorrow. But apparently, the ragdoll husband, after the kid was born, thinks it doesn't look anything like him, and he's accusing the mom of cheating on him. So there could be a splitting of this brand new celebrity couple already. But I believe they're going to have to perform a paternity test of some sort, from what I hear. But actually, I was just thinking, you guys already got a couple steps ahead of me here. I was thinking maybe what's really happening here is this is a clever marketing ploy by the mom who constructed the doll, and she wants to start her new version of a mail order bride and husband service.
Ah, okay. The Raggedy Ann mail order
Yep.
bride service or something. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, if she's not, then there you go, everybody. There you go, folks. Free business idea for you right there from Ruckus, from the Daily Ruckus. Yeah, that's weird. So, woke hospital workers, get ready. Get ready. This crazy TikTok influencer or some wannabe of her is going to run in there one day and be like, I'm pregnant, and they're going to have a rag doll stuffed up their shirt, and you're going to have to entertain, right? You're going to have to entertain that mentally ill person's mental illness. So let's nip this in the bud before we get there. All right. Since we were talking about drag queen story time, right? The wholesomeness of drag queen story time. You may or may not have seen this particular. I'm going to say something I may have never said on the Boiler Room before. You may or may not have seen this particular drag queen and what they had to say about the matter. But let me play this clip for you folks here and check this out. Uh-oh, gotta unmute that sucker. Hold up. Mulligan. I keep all my YouTube tabs muted so they don't mute that sucker. Go rogue. Hold up. Mulligan. Oh, now I've unmuted myself. All my YouTube tabs muted. So there we go. Okay, great.
Hi, everybody. This is Kitty Demure, your friendly favorite conservative drag queen. Anyway, I have another message for heterosexual women, the ones who have children. I have no idea why you want drag queens to read books to your children. I have no idea. What in the hell has a drag queen ever done to make you have so much respect for them and admire them so much, other than put on makeup and jump on the floor and writhe around and do sexual things on stage? I have absolutely no idea why you would want that to influence your child. Would you want a stripper or a porn star to influence your child? It makes no sense at all. A drag queen performs in a nightclub for adults. There is a lot of filth that goes on, a lot of sexual stuff that goes on. And backstage, there's a lot of nudity, sex, and drugs. Okay? So I don't think that this is an avenue you would want your child to explore. They could explore dressing up at home like we all did, like all gay boys did. We all dressed at home and we had a great time. We had a great time with our girlfriends, putting on makeup, trying on clothes, things like that. But to actually get them involved in drag is extremely, extremely irresponsible on your part. And I understand you might want to look like you're with it, that you're cool, that you're woke, that you're not a Nazi, that you're not a homophobe, whatever it may be. But you can raise your child to be just a normal, regular, everyday child without including them in gay, sexual things. And honestly, you're not doing the gay community any favors. In fact, you're hurting us, okay? We have already had a reputation of being pedophiles and being perverts and deviants. We don't need you to bring your children around. So you keep your kids at home or take them to Disneyland or take them to Chuck E. Cheese. But if you need your child to be entertained by a big human in a costume or in makeup, take them to the circus or something. When they turn 18, then why don't you take them to the clubs on their 18th birthday? Because it's an adult thing, okay? So don't ruin your child's life and don't ruin us, because that's what you're doing.
Wow. You don't hear that one on the mainstream news, do you? That's not an opinion that would be popular right now. So there you go. Base drag queen. Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk it? Only here in the boiler room. You're going to find something like that. I'll go around the room and we'll probably head into intermission after that. But Oddman, what's your take there? What do you think of the base drag queen?
Well, I mean, obviously, I can't disagree with him, her. That's, it made a lot of sense, and it's common sense. Every parent should have. You don't sexualize children. It's crazy because I know every one of us are old enough to remember when your sexual preference and how you identified sexually was a personal thing and hardly anyone talked about it. And it wasn't the first thing you had to tell people and spread about on the internet and make a fuss about to get attention. So I really appreciate what she was saying about not sexualizing your children and not having them around things like that. That's abuse. And it messes up kids' heads because their minds aren't fully developed, of course. And when you're a child, you're especially when you go through the preteen years and the teenage years, your mind's very susceptible. But as a small child, has to be extremely confusing. And yeah, I think it's a form of abuse. So that's great to see that and hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like there's not a united front on this. That proves that there's not a united front on this. And Chopper, I found it interesting that that this particular drag queen said you're actually hurting the gay community. And I've wondered that a whole bunch of times whenever these kind of things come up. It's like, don't you realize that you're like using wedge politics and identity politics to like stuff people into this culture where maybe they don't belong, you know what I mean? Like they've been culturally influenced by media to insert themselves into that culture when they probably, many times don't really live that life. You know what I mean? Like you're taking, like it's kind of like we were saying with, there's plenty of fish in the sea and the pond is getting shallow. It's like you're diluting those people's culture with this by encouraging outsiders to come in with false pretenses, no less.
Yeah, I'd imagine that the so-called the gay community, whatever, gay people, probably all different kinds, just like every other kind of people. So I don't see how I highly doubt the greater percentage of them think this is cool. I don't know, but I think you're onto something with that. And yeah, it was interesting. The packaging was kind of interesting, but everything he, they, them, her said was, I couldn't really disagree with much of it. Like, yeah.
It's kind of like a duh. Duh. We've been saying this for years.
So, but yeah, I don't know who in there. I couldn't imagine taking my kid to something like that. Are you kidding me? I don't think so.
Yeah. No thanks. No thanks. All right. Infidel Pharaoh, over to you, man. Any thoughts on the base drag queen here?
Well, I mean, it's just a reminder that there are peoples that do drag, that there are peoples that cross dress, that are people like have their sexual desires that's not necessarily on the same page, like, and they're not buying into the whole agenda, right? It's a reminder that there people are individuals. They don't need to be lumped together in one single category of same thought if they share similar kink or similar, like, whatever the hell they like to do in the weekends or nights, whoever cares about it. But they don't have to buy into the entire ideology. So it's refreshing, to be honest. Also, it's just a continuation to what we were saying like earlier in the show, that this agenda with the kids just have to stop. This, I think, is really disturbing, and this is the parents' fault. And those parents are sick. To be honest, it's not the drag queen fault. It's the fault of that parent that takes their son or their daughter to that show or to that place where that drag queen is reading story. And they are doing it to the they themselves feel good about it. They are not doing it for their kids. I don't believe they are doing it for their kids. I believe they are doing it for them to feel woke and to feel that they are part of the hip. And that is even more disturbing because that tells you like how much actually they care for their kid, right? So I don't know. It just, we have to fight that agenda. Everybody with common sense has to fight that agenda because this is really this is the future of this nation, is those kids. And if we destroy this right now, with whoever is pushing that, whether it's a foreign nation, whatever the hell it is, what's going to lead to is the destruction of this nation and creating a generation that is incapable of leadership or doing anything that's going to drive us in the future, and maintain really what this nation was founded on. So let's fight that ideology together of sexualization of kids.
Basic common sense stuff, man. Protect our children. It's just like, duh. So basic, base level. Just amazing. All right, we got Social Rejects reporting for duty over here in the chat. Welcome, everybody. It's good to see everybody in the chat. Steven, you're absolutely right there. I totally agree. Let's see here. Ruckus, I gotta say, it was a great comment there. You want to take your kids somewhere, take them to Disneyland, take them to Chuck E. Cheese, all these places we used to go when we were kids, arguably have their own set of brainwashing and mind warping, and a lot of parents wised up and stopped taking them there. I mean, look at Disney's stock just tanking right now, this giant debacle they've just had going up against DeSantis and in Florida, alienating over 5,000 of their own employees who don't buy in with it and all that stuff. It's like these people these giant corporations will literally hemorrhage money to push these things when, the wallet and the feet walk and talk. The board doesn't care, I guess. The board is more interested in pushing an agenda and making people think that this is normal.
There has to be something in it for them. But yeah, no, maybe it's not such a good idea to send the kids to Disneyland or whatever. But anyway, that drag queen, I gotta tell you, I mean, trying so hard to look like a woman, but that dude's balls were huge. So, I don't think he's gonna pull it off there eventually. Really nice. Good on him for making a statement when a lot of people are probably afraid. There's probably a lot of folks in his camp that feel that way. They're just not going to say it because, the other part of this is like, you don't have to to be a victim and or a part of this wokeism. You don't have to participate. You can also just sit on the sidelines and let it happen too, not stand up and say, hold on a second. That's kind of, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing here? Come on now. Come on, people. What are you doing? But there's like this bizarre flip-flopping of the level I was just mentioning earlier about how they're treating us like kids, and now they're trying to try to force the kids to grow up faster with the sexualization thing and the grooming and all that stuff. What is going on here? There's always this giant flip-flopping backwardsness going on. I want to point something out real quick to people. It's a thought I had that I shared in the Discord server. Shout out to the Discord server. If you guys like to join that, go to the website alternatecurrentradio.com and click on join Discord. But this whole argument over this drag queen story hour coming in, and then what that drag queen said, hey, parents, how would you feel about strippers or prostitutes coming in and reading to your kids? Well, how about this, folks? How do you think the public would react if they invited the local pastor to come into the school and read something, say, from the Bible to the kids? Just saying.
How dare you? How dare you, Ruckus? That is so racist and old-fashioned. My goodness. Yeah, no, it's a good point. Really, I take I take your meaning there. I think a lot of our listeners know what you're saying. All right. Hey, YouTube, we're probably going to go into intermission here. Any save rounds, final thoughts from anybody in the boiler room before we go to intermission? Going once, going twice. All right. There you go. Segment 1 of this week's Boiler Room. It is June 23rd of 2022. I'm your host, Hesher, and Mindspace Art, our colleague and video guru over here at Alternate Current Radio. He's got another video for us to roll out as we go into intermission over here. So everybody hang back and relax, enjoy the video, some good vibes to get us out of all this insanity, all this madness. And we'll see you on the other side for a Rockfin exclusive second part of the Boiler Room. We'll probably end up talking about Uvalde. We'll probably end up talking about the gun control bill and the 14 corrupt, awful senators, rhinos that signed it. What's the trajectory there? Where's it going? There's also a big Second Amendment win. We had the New York Rifle and Pistol Association get vindicated in the Supreme Court today, and it looks like people are going to be able to get concealed carry licenses in New York, and that sets a precedent there, which could have and will have a lot of ramifications and changes for everybody. Perfect timing. My background light just went off. Good time to go to intermission here. So YouTube, stick around. I'm going to play this video before we bounce out. Everybody on the call, take 10, and I'll meet you in a new StreamYard link here, and we'll head on over to Rockfin. So we'll be right back, everybody. You're listening to and watching the Boiler Room at alternatecurrentradio.com. Here we go. Oh my gosh. That video is not there. Okay, well, let's see here. I think I have one of his other ones queued up. Let's try this one. Nope. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna put some music on while we figure that out, and we will be back with you very shortly. Again, everybody, our website is alternatecurrentradio.com. And please visit us over there for the show pages, for the show notes, for all that stuff. And we'll be right back.